Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to Apple Weekly number 59, the show where I cover everything Apple, both on YouTube and iTunes. Before getting started, heads up to iGear, check out iGear.com. In essence, it's a travel garment and dedicated pockets for your iPhone, iPod Touch, everything. This has 18 pockets. The next version with sleeves for winter wear has 22 pockets. Check it out, and welcome to our new sponsors, Sliders. Slippers for your mouse. First story of this week is in relation to the next iPhone 5, which is hopefully going to be amazing. It's not going to be an update from the 4 to the 4S or the 3G to the 3GS. It's going to be more than that. Specifically, it's a rumoured date of October. No shit, Sherlock has come up. The reason why, again, they changed it over from a June-July release to in October, so it's just in time for the holiday season. So anyone expecting the iPhone 5 to come around the summertime, you are going to be in for a disappointment. So what is going to happen with the iPhone 5? Early rumours, but it's kind of obvious it's going to have LTE. It's going to probably be around the same size. That is what the report or the rumour states, 3.5 inch. There's going to be a micro dock connector as well. I really do hope they do something with Thunderbolt this time. We've had Thunderbolt for over a year and it's just complete and utter garbage. That's just my honest opinion. There is nothing out for it. There's a few drives in the market which aren't really, you know, who's going to pay that price for, you know, Thunderbolt technology? It's nice to have it, of course the technology is great. But it's just not widely accepted, given, you know, certain manufacturers are now flooding the market with it. But over a year, and heck, iPad 3 just came out. Hello, where's a Thunderbolt in that? And you know, there's various reports saying it takes ages to charge. My iPad, or the new iPad 3, is right behind there, and it is a monster to charge. It takes longer to charge over my iPad 2. So why did they not include or incorporate Thunderbolt? I have no idea, but it would be nice to have it come the iPhone 5. Thunderbolt equals faster charging and faster syncing, which is a win-win in my books. So this next story is actually pretty funny. Whenever a new Apple product hits the market, whether it be an iPad or an iPhone, tons of people queue outside, and you do get some people in the Far East, and even in the UK I've seen many, they queue up for the sakes of selling it on. It's, you know, it's easy money kind of thing. You pick up an iPad for 400, you sell it on for 600 to 700 pound. And heck, I know a few people who queued up or queue up, and you know, Russians or Chinese approach them and say, hey, take double the money and get an iDevice for us because we don't want to queue up. So there is a demand for it. So the new iPad comes out, lots of people in the Far East and over here start queuing up for it, and lo and behold, there is no demand for it. There could be various reasons for it. Primarily, you know, pre-orders came out, so everyone pre-ordered one. This time round with the new iPad, because it was launched in multiple countries, more so than the iPad 2, availability meant that it was kind of easy for people to get hold of, if that makes sense. And generally, you know, the stock situation this year with the iPad 3 or the new iPad was good. In the past, for weeks on, you were waiting for an iPad 2 or an iPhone, or even the first generation iPad, but this time round it seemed to be where they made more units, they knew what was coming, and in essence, lots of people bought them to sell on, and then people are just going back in stores and returning them because there is no demand for it. I thought that was a pretty hilarious story, to be honest. Staying on the topic of the new iPad, a few problems with it. First one is Wi-Fi. I'm having the exact same issue back there with the new iPad. It's just cutting off when I want to go into Safari. I'll have to manually put in the password for the router over and over again. Same thing doesn't happen with the iPad 2. Apparently this is a software issue, so we should hopefully see something coming up. But it tends to happen with any new iDevice that hits the market. Wi-Fi issues are just common. It's just kind of known when you pick up a new device. There's going to be a Wi-Fi issue with it, and Apple are going to fix it sooner or later. But I guess the most serious of problems, or not as serious, but stuff that really can't be fixed and has been highlighted over the past few days, the iPad gets hotter. 10 to 14 degrees hotter than the iPad 2. For a device that you're primarily going to be holding in your hand, probably not so good. You may be wondering, why does it get more hot? What is the reasoning behind it? Well, it uses a quad-core chip and where these benchmarking and people kind of measured the temperature was where the A5X chip was there. So yeah, trying it a different way, probably not close to the 10 degrees mark, probably less. But you know, it is a fact, it gets more hotter. The display, the battery in it, it's double the battery in the iPad 2, double the resolution, 2 LEDs in essence. And if you push the slider to the brightness, it's twice as bright as the iPad 2. So in essence, you're getting a hell of a lot coming to your face if you're sitting in a dark room and want to do some torch experiments. It's just the fact, just more light coming out the friggin' thing. I'll be honest, I haven't really noticed a significant amount of heat towards the iPad 3 or the new iPad. Perhaps I haven't used it as much, but it'd be interesting to see what you guys make of the heat issue. Is it a non-issue, or is it something serious and something you're considering? Yeah, I'm going to return it because I don't want to cook my hands. And last but not least, Retina Display Macs. How beautiful would that be? The new iPad, one of the main things, or one of the killer deals in my opinion for the new iPad, is the screen itself. Looking at text, it's just such a breeze to the eyes. And there's been some new coding found in the new release of Mountain Lion, and specifically it consists of better Meteor screen text. Look at this image. Doesn't that look nice? It just makes the whole kind of user experience so much better. You've not got that strain on your eyes. But really, can the Macs handle high definition screens, or Retina, the screens? Well, the good thing is Ivy Bridge chipsets are going to be the next generation processors used, or supposedly going to be coming in the next Macs, and they have a lot of benefits to them. The GPUs, they can handle 4K displays. They've got better battery management. Are we going to need bigger batteries on the MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros, and in essence making the machines heavier? Possibly slightly larger batteries. I say slightly and not too much, because of course the iPad 3, one of the main reasons why it's heavy is because of the battery, the size of the battery. But on the Mac side, because it's going to be using the Ivy Bridge chipsets, that's going to offset some of the requirements, some of the meaty power that it needs. So the processor or the chipset will take care of that. But in addition to that, Apple might just want to put some backup in there. Are we going to be able to fry eggs on our MacBooks? To be honest, if you've got a MacBook Pro, that does get warm, but the MacBook Air, not so much in my experience. But in any case, the Retina Display Macs most probably will get more warmer because of the screen, the size of the screen and the power that's going to be pushing it out. So yeah, a downer on that side, unless if they use some magical exterior material, liquid metal, but I don't know how big of a difference that is going to make for the temperature of the actual cases, and if that will burn your lap. But knowing Apple, what they've recently done with the new iPad, where they've made it slightly thicker and heavier, not that much, but it is still factually heavier, we might see the MacBook Airs gaining that extra little bit of weight, perhaps. And lastly, the RAM. The new iPad has got double the RAM over the iPad 2 to power up the display and other features of the new iPad. So good move, because we won't no longer be seeing 2 and 4 gigs and the standard, hopefully moving up to 6 or 8, or heck, perhaps more. That would be also welcomed. But yeah, I guess generally I'm looking forward to the refresh of the Macs, MacBook Air and Pros in the next few weeks specifically. Definitely before the summer anyway, due to the launch of Mountain Lion, which I'm equally excited to see what Apple brings us. Hopefully at WWDC we're going to see the one more thing or further features that we haven't really seen. I hope they have got something hidden and yet to show us. But guys, that is it for this week in Apple. I hope you liked it. If you can join me on iglaswegian.com, all my social media links are on there. And a word from our new sponsors, Flyders. They're doing a giveaway. It's very simple. Follow them at their Twitter account, Do You Flyd, and post them a tweet saying, hey, iGlaswegian sent me, and they'll choose 1 or 2 winners, or however many winners they decide, and ship you off their cool slippers for your Magic Minutes. Check them out, and good luck to everyone who enters. Thanks so much for watching, and before you go, watch this clip.
Want to silence that scratchy mouse on your desk? Make it smooth as butter. Flatters. The original slippers for your mouse. Get your flat on. And get your set of flatters at flatters.com. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook.